This is a part 2 of the video on how to automate the backup of your .NetNuke website. Now, in the last video, we have just uploaded the license key of the module. Now, we will start to set it up. So with that done, let's go to the home of the backup module. With the backup module, you can backup the files. You could backup the files locally on the same location as your site files, but again, that's not really advisable because if you lose it, you will lose the backup files as well. But if you want to do that, you can do that, and you can just download the zip files to your local computer or something like that. But you can also set up an FTP server that you want to upload the backup files to. You can set up Amazon S3, which is our case here, and you can also do a Rackspace backup upload to their services. Now, we're going to be using Amazon S3. Now, those settings here, this is for performing a manual backup. But first of all, let's do the configuration of those backups. First is that there are two different backup files. One is the database backup script, and the other one is the site files backups zip. So if you go under configuration, and there are quite a few configuration options here. Let's start with the database backup settings. I'm not going to cover item by item. I'm just going to leave it as default because the default settings of this module, they work quite well. And if you want to dig deeper into each and every single setting, you can definitely do that. But the default settings, they do work quite well. So here you have perform database backup. If it's checked, it will perform. If it's not checked, of course, it will not perform. The database backup file, not going to mess with them. Some other options here, as I said, I'm not going to check each one of those options. If you want to save database data provider files, which tables, if you want to select tables, I'm going to, again, just keeping everything as default. I want everything. I don't want to make any exceptions in regards to the tables. Again, some additional options here. I'm not going to cover them all. I'm just going to hit update. Again, even though I did not do any change here. Now, let's have a look. And this is the database backup settings. Now, in regards to the file backup settings, let's go there. Very close to what we did with the database backup. I'm not going to change anything. I just want to perform the file backup. Here is the file name. Then there are some additional options here. Do you want to include web config or not? I want the whole thing. So I want to include every single folder, all the files. There's also an option here that you can exclude certain folders. Let's say that, I don't know, maybe it's a temporary folder that you don't want to bring over, or maybe it's a folder that's too big and you don't want to bring over. Whatever it is, the reason, you can specify if you don't want to bring certain folders. Now, you can also bring some external folders. You can also specify that here. I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to hit update here. And again, it was already saved anyway. Now, we are back here to the main configuration page. Let's have a look at the general settings. Now, under general settings, you can specify the name of the folder to backup. I'm going to keep it as backup. As I said, I'm going to keep everything pretty much default here. Now, the zip files that will be created, you can configure them with passwords. I'm not going to add that, but you can definitely do that. What else? Notification options. That's interesting, I would say. If you want to be notified when the backup happens, you can definitely check this box here. That's the only option that I'm going to keep it checked for now. And those are the settings. Again, nothing that complex unless you really want to dig deeper into each one of those options. I'm just gonna click. There's a bit of a template here that you can set up for the email that will be sent out once the backup is done. And let's click update. Now, let's have a look at this option, which is very important. We need to set up the destination, the offsite destination of our backup files. So let's click there. Now, there are three options, and I'm just going to collapse them here. One is FTP options, if you want to backup the files to an FTP location that you may already have. Another one is Amazon S3, which is the one that we're going to be using. The third one is Rackspace. Now, the one that will be working is the Amazon S3. Now, if I expand Amazon S3 options, I'm going to enable Amazon S3 transfer. Here are two pieces of information that you need to get from Amazon. So that's the access key ID and secret access key. So you have to go to the settings of your account under Amazon. By the way, setting up the account under Amazon Web Services is quite simple. I mean, if you have ever purchased a book in Amazon, it will be quite straightforward here for you. Now, I'm here on my AWS account. I'm going to the security credentials of my account, and you will be able to see the access credentials. Under access keys, this is the access key ID, and this is the secret access key. I'm going to copy the first one. I'm going to go back to the site, and here's the access key where I'm going to paste. I'm going to go back there and have a look at my secret access key. I'm going to copy that and go back to the site to put under secret access key. Perfect. So now the other option is if you want to use SSL connection to while you transfer the files. I'm going to keep that checked. Bucket name. This is a term used by S3 to identify which bucket, which area you want the files to go to. In our case here, in my case, I have created a bucket called 1-800-DNN. So I'm going to put that there. 1-800-DNN. It's the same. Yes. Okay, perfect. Here is how the file will be named. It will be named under a folder inside the bucket called a DNN backup. And this is the backup file. This is kind of a token here. Now, if I don't want those files to accumulate locally, those backup files to accumulate locally, what I can do is I can check this option to delete the file once it's uploaded to S3, to Amazon S3. So again, to avoid accumulating too many local files, local backup files, I can delete them. So that's pretty much it in regards to Amazon S3. Let's click on Test Amazon S3 Connection to see if everything is working fine. Perfect. Okay, so it says here Amazon S3 connection test successfully completed. Very good, very good. Okay, so let's scroll down and click Update to finish. Oh, the secret key got removed. So let me copy that again. Okay, paste it here, update. This is the end of part 2 of the video on how to automate the backup of your DotNetNuke website.